Alright, raza, this is our Tex-Mex Cropero over here, so we're gonna do a review. And obviously, you probably know who it is in the background, but nevertheless, came with classics such as kind of forgetting over here, ¿cómo se llama la rola? No te vayas deteniendo, no puedo más, ¿cómo le haces? Qué más? Penas, valiente, raro amor, regresa. Wow, what can I say? And you probably know who it is, pues ahí está raza. Joe Posada in the house with his 1989 album En Aquel Baile, which is probably one of my favorites of Joe Posada, coming from the 80s. A little bit of backstory of Joe Posada. Joe Posada is a musician who has performed with, from what I can tell, he performed with a lot of bands prior, most notably with the Royal Jesters of the 70s. Luego moving from Royal Jesters to I know he was with David Modest for a while with People, and he's until then I don't know what else he did in between People and becoming a soloist, but he became a soloist around 82, 83, recorded a few albums with Cara and CBS Records until he landed with CBS, and lo and behold, he dropped this one. One hell of an album over here. Which is let me say this, the selections: Chica Chica, which is playing right now, Qué Dolor, una balada, Sé que te marcharás, Paloma Extranjera, which is como una balada, Peanuts, el cacahuate. So that one's a polquita right there, a good one. En Aquel Baile, No te arrepentirás, which was covered by David Garza Los Musicales at that same year. Orgullo, Fuimos Amantes, como una rola en el estilo salsa. Y Ansias Locas. Well, what can I say? I mean, it's one hell of an album over here. It has a little bit more variety compared to the reviews that I've done. Una que otra salsita, what can I say? I mean, and then the Quinto Sol members being Piro Ojeda, bass and vocals, Joe Mares keyboards, Joe Martinez drums and vocals, and Rick Ramirez on percussion and vocals. You know, the only thing I do have an issue with, being that they didn't have any guitar, which you could probably hear right now. Which there is guitar in it, but they're using a patch coming from the Roland D50. But I can bear with it. Although I did find it kind of odd that it didn't have any guitar at all. So probably one of the first, if not probably the only album that has Roland D50 as their keyboard. I mean, as their guitar. Dang it. Casi la cago. I know Mayo de Chavarria dropped an album a year after this one came out, and they used the Korg M1 as their guitar. Why didn't they hire guitars is beyond me. Same thing with this one. But hey, it's good. I mean, hell, one of the exitazos would be Chica Chica, Sé que en Aquel Baile, y Sé que te marcharás, Ansias Locas maybe, but mostly Chica Chica and Aquel Baile, which one of my favorite selections. I mean, what can I say? I mean, like I said, they didn't have a guitarist recording on this album, unless if I'm mistaken, una que otra rola, but I haven't listened to this album in a good while. So yeah, I kind of lied to myself on this one. But nevertheless, I mean, it still has that essence of Joe Posada, that style he gives it out. You know, also being his second to last album before merging with EMI, recording Valiente and all those badass hits. Of, but yeah, what can I say? I mean, I'll give this one probably a rating of 8.2. 8.2. I mean, it's just amazing the selections that I heard. And I mean, I've been hearing some of these selections as a teenager, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, this is fucking badass. You know, I didn't mean to cuss, but that's just how I felt when I first heard of Orgullo, Sé que te marcharás. I'm like, holy hell, man, this is freaking insane. This is so freaking insane. Like, wow. And from what I see, there is cassette version of this album. I'm not sure if there's a CD, even though CDs from back then, they started coming out around late 80s, but by a Tejano artist, it was probably one in a million. The CDs for this one would probably be the most rarest one of all, maybe, but that's if there exists. This one costed me about $20 off of eBay, so this is very hard to find, especially if you're living outside of Texas like me. You know, it's kind of crazy. But nevertheless, I mean, 8.2, one hell of a fucking album, man. Like you have no idea. Oh my god, yeah, man. Like, la contra portada, so you can see this, man. Like, holy hell, this man meant business, and he still is. You know, although I do wish that they would probably drop this on Spotify and the digital platforms, which I don't know. He might do. I don't know. We never know until he decides that screw it, I'm gonna release an Aquel Baile on the digital platforms. Hopefully he does, because it's insane. It's insane how so many artists have recorded over a lot of material over the years, like in the 80s and 90s, and probably never bothered to release it digitally, or maybe because of the conflicting bullshit with record labels and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I would appreciate it if there was a way that this could be exposed on the digital platforms. I mean, hell, estaría bien, pero, you know, I digress. So yeah, eso fue en aquel baile de Joe Posada, 1989, on Disco CBS. This is el Tex-Mex Grupero y sobres.